Michael Hrabsack, when your father came to the United States in 1910, leaving your mom, who was pregnant with you at the time in Czechoslovakia, he immediately opened up opportunities for you and your family. You and your mom came 2 years later in 1912, and you moved frequently from state to state as your father worked in the coal mines and the steel mills, which you would eventually do yourself. From Illinois to Connecticut to Pennsylvania, where you and your family finally settled down, you'd go to school and learn the steel mills with your father and your brother. I believe all this moving from state to state gave you an expansive look at America, and you would eventually go on to protect that during World War II and the Korean War when you became a U.S. Marine. You actually served in more places around the world: Iceland, Solomon Islands, Guadalcanal, North China, and Korea, than you ever lived in. Even after your death, you continued to move, from the UN cemetery in Korea to the DMZ, where there'd be an exchange of bodies between the UN forces and the communists after the ceasefire, to Japan, where your body would be positively identified, and finally here in Hawaii, where your body could be honored and laid to rest. One of your favorite hobbies, hunting, would help make you an excellent artilleryman and eager to learn all there was about artillery. You put these skills to great use when you saw action in World War II in the Pacific and did very well on your evaluations, and you quickly moved up the ranks. It's quite impressive to have enlisted as a private in 1935, and by 1943, you advanced to gunnery sergeant. Korea was a completely different kind of war than World War II, and I can't imagine how you were able to make the physical and mental transitions between the two wars. In World War II, you were fighting a total war against an enemy until they surrendered. In Korea, you were part of a limited war, slowly gaining and losing territory to the communists with the assault and seizure of Incheon, and then the capture and securing of Seoul. In your final days of the Chosin Reservoir, you faced conditions that would challenge every Marine involved. From November 28th to December 2nd, you spent 4 days and nights being a brutal 15 degrees below zero, as a machine gun squad leader, fighting to move just 15 miles. The rest of your company made it to their destination on December 3rd, where they would reorganize and continue on a 40-mile fight down the mountain to the sea, while you paid the ultimate sacrifice. War always has consequences, and I'm not just talking about the deaths. Despite your struggles and setbacks, you continued to serve your country, the country your dad chose to bring you and your mother to. And you chose to re-enlist again and again in the U.S. Marine Corps. I'll finish from a quote from one of my favorite World War II generals, George Patton. "It's foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." Hoorah, Marine.